Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the banks of the Rhine for the Bundesliga quarterfinals between the league-leading undefeated Bonn Capitals and the Doran Wild Farmers, who came on strong at the end of the season. Hey, my name is Brent Kerrigan. I'm happy to be here in the booth with Angela Beckman, Max Paulus, and Fabian Tasing, who will be bringing you the game for today. And we do have a lot of exciting baseball ahead of us today and into tomorrow as well. We're ready to play. The weather could be a factor, but right now it looks pretty good. We've dealt with a bit of rain all day, but let's keep our fingers crossed that this sun stays out for at least for a little while. The Caps went a perfect 14-0 in the season. They got second place in the Champions Cup. That's an incredible performance, of course. Their offense has been incredibly good. Likewise, they defeated the Wild Farmers by scores of 16-1 and 12-10 earlier this season. But the Wild Farmers have been sowing their wild oats of late, finishing strong and particularly looking good in the second game of each of their series. What all of this means is this, that we're geared up for a good quarterfinal series. Today is game one, with a scheduled game tomorrow at noon. There is a possible third game if needed later tomorrow. On the mound today is Sascha Koch for Bonn. His record is 2-0 with a 2.35 ERA and 23 strikeouts. So, definitely have our pitching work cut out for us today. And before we go on too much longer, I want to get to an interview that Angela has prepared with head coach Max Schmidt. We'll play that now.
Ja, Max Schmitz, back from Ostrava. Bevor wir über das Viertelfinale sprechen, vielleicht kurz, was ist dein Rückblick auf den Champions Cup?
Also ich würde sagen, das war eine extrem erfolgreiche Woche. Wir haben wirklich extrem guten Baseball aufs Parkett gezaubert und denke, haben uns einen Namen im europäischen Baseball gemacht. Super ins Turnier gestartet, Siege gegen Parma und Amsterdam hat uns dann erlaubt, das Pitching zu saven im Spiel 3 gegen Ostrava und haben uns als Gruppenerster fürs Halbfinale qualifiziert und dann ein enormes Spiel abgeliefert gegen Rotterdam Neptunus, sind da nochmal von einem 6-1 wiedergekommen, haben das Spiel gedreht. Bin wahnsinnig stolz auf die Jungs. Die haben echt eine enorme Leistung vollbracht und ja, sowas, auch wenn wir natürlich ein bisschen ganz knapp davor gescheitert sind und das Finale verloren haben, sowas motiviert natürlich jetzt auch für die Playoffs.
Ja, also herzlichen Glückwunsch von ganz Baseball Deutschland, ist glaube ich auch angekommen über alle Social Media und Webseiten, die es so gibt. Also tolle Leistung. Wie schwer ist es jetzt, den Fokus wieder auf die Bundesliga zu richten?
Ich denke, das, was unsere Aufgabe als Coaches ist, vor allem die Dinge auf die positiven Dinge zu lenken, die letzte Woche passiert sind. Und genau diese positiven Ereignisse, diese positiven Gedanken und sowas mit in die Playoffs reinzutragen. Im Gegensatz zu dem einen Loss, den wir jetzt halt verkraften müssen. Aber wir sind Baseballer. Das heißt, Baseballer haben ein kurzes Gedächtnis, abhaken, Flush the Toilet und nach vorne gucken.
Was erwartest du von Doren?
Ja, Doren ist ein cooles Team, weil die mit Herzblut spielen, genauso wie wir. Ist ein Team, was gegen uns in die Saison gestartet ist und ich glaube ein nicht so knappes und ein knappes Spiel abgeliefert haben. Ich denke, die werden sich auch über die Saison hinweg weiterentwickelt haben und deshalb erwarte ich 2 spannende Spiele mit Playoff-Charakter.
Aber das Ziel ist schon, in 2 Spielen durchzukommen.
Das Ziel ist, die Serie zu gewinnen. Aber ja, wenn möglich in 2 Spielen. Aber wenn es 3 sind, dann sind es 3.
Wie fit sind eure Pitcher?
And welcome back to the game. Some interesting thoughts there from head coach Max Schmitz. And we're already ready to play some baseball. The umpires are getting things moving as we go. Now, the one thing we want to point out, perhaps you're at home wondering why Bonn is batting first if we are indeed in Bonn. Well, for the purposes of today's game, they are the visiting team as we enter this playoff round. And at bat right now is Eric Brank, the perennial lead-off batter for Bonn. And the game has started with a ball to Eric Brink. Eric is playing shortstop today, as is his normal position. He's batting .321 on the season. Pitch comes in for a strike. Count is 1-1. Brink will be followed by, if we look a little bit further on in the order, Joe Vittig, Vinny Aarons, Terrell Joyce is batting clean up today. Daniel Lamb Hunt will follow him. Wilson Lee, as we see the pitch come in for a strike. 1-2 is the count. Danny Langhorst will follow Wilson Lee. Next up, Nick Michelli, and to round out the order, Eddie Stummel, who is playing at second base today. 1-2 count. Pitch comes in low and outside, 2-2. Earlier today, the rain was coming down, was unsure what tonight's game might look like, but it certainly has changed its nature today. This evening around 6 o'clock, as we get underway, things look really good now. Let's keep that sun out. And that pitch is high. Full count now on Eric Brink. Eric, 56 at-bats on the year. .321 average. And outside. So, Bond Capitals get their first batter on base. Leadoff batter is on. As the bat boy, number 6, grabs the pad, heads back to the dugout as Joe Vittig comes to the plate. Joe Vittig hitting a very healthy .391 on the season, wearing the number 45. Now, Brink has 5 stolen bases on the season. He's got a pretty healthy lead out there. I'm sure Bond wants to get something going right away, get some pressure on the pitcher, as that pitch comes in for a strike. Let's talk about that pitcher for the Wild Farmers. Ivan Galkin, he has a record of 3-2 on the season. He's pitched 21 innings, more or less, 2 strikeouts in that time. So, not a lot of strikeouts there. He's got an ERA of about 8.23. So Bond would probably be in a smart position to perhaps keep an eye. No use to be swinging at everything. You'll recall that, well, perhaps you may not recall earlier in the season that Bond won the first of 2 games they had on that particular weekend. They won the first game 16-1. Bit of a blowout, obviously. But the second game, they won by 12-10 margin, and that game got away from them at the end for the Bond Capitals. The Wild Farmers almost came back and won that. So, don't count out the Wild Farmers. 2-2 is the count. Angela Beckman, of course, here as she is every week. Angela, why shouldn't we count out these Doran Wild Farmers? I mean, I talked about that second game, and why is it?
Yeah,
they're so good.
The reason is the Doran Wild Farmers are similar as the Bond Capitals are. They bring their heart onto the field. So that means they go into each game and they want to win it, and they want to perform, and they want to bring everything they have into a game.
I see. So
and so that's one of the main reasons why never underestimate the Doran Wild Farmers. Especially, they have shown that against us. The first game, sometimes they lose it pretty high. Like last week against Hamburg, they lost like 15-5 or something like that. But they came back in the second game with a 3-1 win. So, yeah.
3 of their last 4, they won. Yeah, thanks, Angela. And again, don't count them out. As we were speaking, Joe Vittig got hit by a pitch on the elbow. He's at first base. Eric Brink is now at second base. So Bond, nobody out, 2 on. Brink, big lead at second. And that's called a strike on Vinny Aarons, who is catcher for today. And the crowd, you may have heard them voice their displeasure. As Aarons asked the umpire if that indeed was low, and the umpire says, "Oh, I think it was." You may re-enter the box and check this one out. Nobody out, no score. Top of the first inning. Again, Bonn is the visiting team today. Swing and a miss on that pitch. 0-2. As Vinny Aarons finds himself in the hole early on. 424 average on the season for Mr. Aarons. Standout player on the team, standout bat on a team of big bats the entire year, Bonn Capitals. And a chopper back up the middle and through for a single as Brent comes around third and he is going to score. Wittig goes into third and Vinny Aarons on an 0-2 count gets an RBI and advances a runner to third. Runners at third and first now for the cleanup batter, Terrell Joyce. Well, that'll get the fans going early on in the game. Something to cheer about. 1-0 Bonn. Right up the middle. Nice chopper just over the pitcher's head. Now, you want to talk about big bats on the team. Terrell Joyce, the center fielder for Bonn, wearing number 6. He had a .476 average on the year. Tied, I believe, if I check my notes here, yeah, he's hit 7 home runs this year and tied for the league team lead with Daniel M. Hunt. And pitch comes in for a strike.
That was inside, but anyway, the umpire calls.
They haven't let us do that yet. Perhaps someday. It'd be interesting with the robot umps.
I mean, we have a good view from up here, you know.
We do. We the best. So runners on first and third, still nobody out. Terrell Joyce watches that for a ball. 1-1 is the count. Joe Wittig on third base. Vinny Aarons, who has that RBI early on in the game, is at first. Now, Wittig trying to do his best to distract the pitcher over there on third. He's not covered at all. Obviously, the Wild Farmers are more interested in getting a couple of outs if they can at the moment than worrying about that runner at third base. 2-1 the count. 1-0 Bonn early on here. And runner goes first, throw down to second. No chance there. I think they were hoping to see if Wittig was going to be going from third, and of course he was not. He stayed. One of the oldest tricks in the baseball book. Try and trick the guy on third by pretending to throw at the runner at second. But it failed again. So runners on second and third. Wittig at third, Aarons on second. Terrell Joyce at the plate with a count of 3-1. Galkin toes the rubber. You have to be careful coming into Joyce, I would think, on this particular pitch. Yes, and Joyce takes a big swing and fouls it back. 3-2 full count. I've had the pleasure to watch a few Terrell Joyce home runs this year, Angela, and he always makes them look very nice.
Very easy.
Indeed.
Yeah, maybe later on we talk a little bit about the Champions Cup last week.
Indeed.
But just to mention that he hit his home runs at the Champions Cup always right at the right moment, you know. So great performance there.
And a really nice guy, too. I've gotten to talk to him a few times now, and he's a really friendly guy, knows his baseball, loves playing. Swing and a miss, still 3-2, full count runner. It's on second and third for the Bonn Capitals. Nobody out. Wind, none to speak of. It is dead wind-wise. The flags limply hanging in center field. shadows extending across the first base line.
So let's hope we play not too long because.
And a chopper down
Whoops.
to third, but foul. Yeah, do some fancy dancing down there, Vidig did.
No, because it's supposed to get some thunder and storm later tonight. So let's hope that the game is over by then.
I'll put in a call to keep that delayed.
Okay.
Three-two count still to Terrell Joyce. He's really making the pitcher work. Galkin, the pitcher. And another foul on the third base side into the dugout. And I think Terrell Joyce is hoping to win this by attrition, maybe shooting a couple foul balls into the into the dugout. The pitcher, Galkin, is rare among the with respect to the rest of the team in that he does not have his shirt tucked into his pants. Now, when I played back about 300 years ago, I recall that the pitcher had to have that shirt tucked in. Perhaps the rules have changed. 3-2 the count. Runners at second and third. Nobody out. And a high pop-up into left field. We don't have a good sight line down there, but it looks like it has gone foul.
Foul ball.
Foul ball indeed.
We have a picture over here.
Yes. The television screen up here shows it, the live, just out of sight. Still, I repeat, the count is 3-2.
Did you mention already the umpires' names?
I have not done that yet,
Yeah.
Angel, but if you could do the honors, that would be great. And he loses him, and Terrell Joyce goes down to first base, and the sacks are full early on in the game for Daniel Lamb Hunt.
Yeah, so we have Andre Reuter at home plate here, because we were talking already about him. And we have Jason Lillebow on first base, which is an umpire that is not that often here in Bonn.
Yeah, I haven't heard of...
And we have at third base Dirk Biel, which
Okay.
is who comes from Bonn. So
Daniel Lamb Hunt with the bases loaded. This is a scary proposition for any opposing pitcher. That pitch comes in for a ball. On first base, Terrell Joyce. On second base, Vinny Aarons. On third base, Joe Vidig. Nobody out. And a broken bat single into left field. And Vidig comes home to score. The left fielder drops the ball. And in to follow Vidig comes Vinny Aarons. 3-0 Bonn. Nobody out still. So Daniel Lamb Hunt comes through. 2 RBIs on that base hit. And he finds himself at first base. Terrell Joyce at second. As the Addams Family plays that theme song. I haven't heard that one in a while. Can't say I miss it. As there's a little conference out there on the pitcher's mound, the pitcher, Galkin, shaken up here for 3 runs before an out is even recorded. This is beginning, Angela, to look a little bit like a repeat of the first game that we saw earlier on in the season.
yeah, where we have beaten them like 16-1. I mean, it's a pity for Doran. I mean, because if you're in the first inning and we are the first ones to hit, because we are the guest team today, and you don't come into that game, so to speak, it's difficult.
You're right, and now you're facing, with 3 runs in, nobody out, 2 runners on, you're facing Wilson Lee, who, obviously no slouch himself, 370 batting average on the season.
5 home runs, so
5 home runs, not bad. MVP last year.
and he's also one of the heroes from the Champions Cup. About what we talk later, definitely one of the heroes.
I look forward to that discussion. We got to keep the
Yeah.
suspense building, keep the listeners and watchers tuned in. And that ball's low. 2-0 now is the count. Galkin pitching carefully to Wilson Lee. Probably doesn't want any more runs to come in, of course. But not an easy lineup to get through. This Bond lineup is filled with very good hitters. And that comes in for a strike, 2-1. Wilson Lee, the left fielder. Terrell Joyce at second, Lame Hunt on first base. And he waits for it. The pitcher loses his glove as the ball goes by him. And Terrell Joyce rounds third. He is going in to score. The throw goes to third base, dropped. And Lame Hunt is in at third as Wilson Lee comes into second with a double, RBI double. So that pitch, again, that was the second in a row that sort of went through the pitcher. And the pitcher, Galkin, the best way I can describe that is that he just sort of threw his glove at it almost, but after the ball went by, so a little late on that. In any case, 4-0 Bond. Still nobody out. The runner on third is Lame Hunt. And the runner on second is Wilson Lee with the double that he just got. Terrell Joyce, the one who came in to score. Danny Lankhorst at the plate. Lankhorst, 226 in the season, batting average. Galkin in deep. Throws, and the umpire gives a generous call, a strike there. Fans liking what they see already. Bond Capital's out on the steps of the dugout. They're into it. They're hoping for a long playoff run, obviously. Galkin looks into his catcher. Delivers. And another strike. 0-2. Lankhorst finds himself in the hole. Wilson Lee on third. Daniel Lamb Hunt on third. Wilson Lee at second. No coverage at all, either player. Right now, the Wild Farmers looking to get some wild outs, which is a wild concept here in the first, with 4 runs already in. And chopper again, right up the middle. And
Through the middle.
Lamb Hunt scores. Around comes Wilson Lee. He scores. They've got the runner, Lankhorst, in a rundown onto second. Drops the ball, and Lankhorst stays at second. It is not a game for Wild Farmers so far. So, the score is
5-0.
5-0.
Something has happened. We have a softball game. We have a softball game on the other field, and obviously somebody got hurt there.
Yeah, you're looking at a player. There's a diamond on the other side of us where the ladies softball team is playing, and they've got an ambulance out here. So we hope everything is going to be okay there as people are attending. So Lankhorst was caught in a rundown as the runners came home. It's 6-0 Bond. It's not 5-0 Bond. I think I told you mistaken run. It's 6-0 because Wilson Lee also came home on that play, and as he was coming home, Lankhorst was on his way to second, and they caught him in a rundown. However, as they were doing the little rundown shuffle, this second baseman, I believe was the second baseman, dropped the ball, and Lankhorst is now at second. Still nobody out. And at the plate is Nick Michelli. He's the DH tonight, batting .321. Galkin low and outside. Ball 1. So be Michelli and Stummel to follow him, and Brank. That's the top of the order again already. 2 balls, no strikes. Excuse me. I notice now the pitcher has the Galkin has his shirt tucked in. Perhaps he was told by the umpire to do that. It can be distracting for the batter, but apparently not too distracting today for the Capitals. And the pitch gets by the catcher. That's a pass ball. And the runner rounds third. Lankhorst does. And he'll stay at third. Nothing but bad news so far for these Wild Farmers. Lankhorst at third. 3-0 is the count on Nick Michelli. Nobody out still. 6-0 Bond in the top of the first inning. And the fans clapping and chanting, wanting a little bit more. They know a good thing when they see it. Galkin delivers. Tries a curveball. That's outside. He loses Michelli. He's at first. Lankhorst still on third. And I've said this a few times now. Nobody out. He'll bring to the plate Eddie Stummel.
Yeah, so with Eddie, we are already
Right through the lineup.
completely through the lineup.
Coach comes out, and you have to wonder what he'd say here. Perhaps it's not quite your day, son. But this is, look, I mean, this is, I'm making light of it. I don't mean to. This is very tough. This is a very tough lineup that Galkin is facing.
So it's a pitching change.
Yeah. I mean, when you give up 6 runs and there's still nobody out and it's the top of the first inning, it is worth trying somebody else. So why don't we take a little break here as the pitcher comes in, takes a few warm-ups, and we will be right back here on Caps TV. And welcome back to Bonn, where the score is 6-0, and we have a new pitcher for the Wild Farmers, Daniel Thieben. As Stummel takes a, he swings and misses. That's a strike. Now, Thieben, he also has it's an interesting record. That's how do I put this? In 1.1 innings, he has given up 8 runs. That's his record. So that leads to a 54 ERA. So that's a tough one, but he's got an 0-2 count already on Eddie Stummel. So starting better than last time, at least, for Daniel Thieben. And the crowd chants for more, and that comes in for a ball. 1-2. Do a little recap of who is still standing on the bases right now. Danny Lankhorst is at third. Nick Michelli is at first base after a walk. Nobody out still. And that bounces into the plate. That's outside. So from an 0-2 count, it's now even at 2-2. Thieben, a tall presence on the mound. Bond fans in the shade. I presume there are some Wild Farmers fans on the other side, and fully in the sun. That ball popped up into the center field. Should give the center fielder time. He comes over, indeed makes the catch. No tag at third base, as Lanco stays where he is. So 1 out, finally an out for the Wild Farmers. But the lineup is now turned over, and Eric Brank, top of the order, comes to the plate. Way back 9 batters ago, he walked to get things going. And Brank will be followed by Wittig, and if we get to him, Vinny Ahrens. Again, runner on first, runner on third. And a chopper right past the third baseman into left field. Lanco scores. And then the throw comes into third as Eric Brank comes in with a double.
Right on the first pitch.
Right on the first
He
pitch.
has shown Teven where the way could lead to.
Yes, and as I catch up, Nick Michelli's at third base. Lanco is the one who came in to score 7-0. That was a nice hit right past the third baseman under his glove. There's no chance to get that. And that'll bring up hitter number 2, Joe Wittig. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. Wait, we're still in the first inning. First bat of the first inning. Let me clarify. That comes in low for a ball. And the count is 2-0. And finally, the umpire says, that's one I like. 2-1. 1 out here. 7-0 Bonn over the Wild Farmers. And the pitch is outside. 3-1. Wittig, 391 on the season. And over the second baseman's head, all the way to the fence as Michelli comes in to score. He will be followed in by Eric Brank as Joe Wittig gets a 2-base RBI. It is 9-0 for Bonn here in, yes, we're still in the first inning.
Yeah, this looks like a disaster for Dover, to be honest.
I'd say it doesn't look favorable.
I mean, they don't come out of the top first inning, you know, so
Yeah,
it's too bad.
Yeah, so if you're joining us late, you've missed 9 runs. And we are only in the first inning. Ivan Gatkin was the pitcher for the Wild Farmers. He got slammed for, I believe, 7 runs. Yes, Daniel Theben is on the mound now. As you saw, he just got hit up for 2. Nick Michelli and Eric Brank scored on that last play. There's more filled-in diamonds on this page than a Kardashian dinner party. And that pitch comes in for a ball, 2-1. Geez, Angela, it's the first inning. I might have to get the trivia question in 6 innings early to make sure we get it in.
So the minimum they will play are 5 innings, by the way.
So at this rate, I'm not a mathematician, but 9 times 5.
No. We calm down.
I would imagine we're going to start seeing some station-to-station playing quite soon. Joe Wittig at second base. Let's do a little recap. The count is 3-1. And a high pop-up, a extremely high pop-up as the catcher and first baseman come in. Oh, and he catches that in the foul territory. The first baseman does. There are now 2 out in the inning. That'll bring to the... And of course, that was Vinny Aarons who popped out. That brings to the plate Terrell Joyce. Terrell Joyce walked in his first at-bat. And a hard hit into center field as they watches that go. That's a home run for Terrell Joyce. 2-run home run here in the first inning to make it 11-0. You would say this game is a bit out of hand at this point. But a beautiful hit, nonetheless, over the center field fence for Terrell Joyce. He saw a meatball, and he ate that right up.
I don't think I have ever seen that in a Bundesliga game, that we had an 11-0 lead in the first inning.
No, I have not seen that myself. But every time I'm here, Angela, I see something I have not seen before.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. So
let's hope it stays that way over the playoffs. So
yeah. Well, can we get to a dozen? Really, that's the next goal. Daniel Lamb Hunt is at the plate. He got a single in his last at-bat. And that pitch is inside.
he got a single with a broken bat, if I remember
That's
correctly.
right. That's right. It's even looking at the ground, perhaps praying down, hoping for some divine intervention, up or down, because it's something, it's not working so well for the Wild Farmers so far. 2 out here and 11-0 in the first inning. And that ball comes in for a ball. 3-1 is the count. At this point, you really have to start siding with the pitcher. Your heart sort of goes out to them on the mound. Nobody wants to be pitching in a game this out of hand. Called down to first, and he says he went around, and the count is now full, 3-2. And the delivery chopped down just past the shortstop, and Daniel Lamb Hunt has a single. Looks at second. Left fielder urges him on, but Daniel Lamb Hunt thinks twice and stays at first base. I think, as you'll probably see, that unless they're not going to be too aggressive on the bases. At least that's been common practice from what I've seen in baseball. Who knows?
The Capitals are always aggressive with their base running.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of bad form to be doing that in an 11-0 lead. That's the kind of thing that can get a ball thrown at your head.
You can test a lot of things, right?
It's still bad form. I mean, there's a lot of unspoken rules in baseball, and that seems to be one of them. We'll see. He's having a struggle out there, Steven is. I guess that's an understatement for him and kind of the entire team. So far, 2-0 is the count. 2 out, though. 2 out. And a foul down the third base line. Baseball is changing, though, Angela. You know, I think there was a bunt in a game that was way out of hand the other night in a major league game, and throw down to first, no go. So, a new generation of players want to do different things, and of course, this isn't the major leagues either. Players want to show what they can do.
Well, these are the German big leagues, so.
These are the big leagues to us. Yes. And these Bond Capitals playing like a big league team. Very, very impressive. 2-2 is the count. 2 out. 11-0. Top of the, first inning. And runner goes. Hit down to third, throw on to first, bounces it in, and the pitch gets under the first baseman's glove, and so Lamb Hunt goes down to third base. And I will note, Angela, that Daniel Lamb Hunt was going on that play as if he was, I don't know if it was a hit and run, which it very much could have been, but a stolen base in an 11-0 game. No comment.
We call it a hit and run.
You will call it a hit and run indeed. Danny Lankhorst, making his second appearance of the game as well, chops a single up the, just past the shortstop, and Daniel Lamb Hunt comes in to score. The dozen number has been reached, 12-0 Bonn. Top of the first inning. Wilson Lee makes his way to second base. So, everybody in the action.
Everybody has their hits, right?
Now,
Almost. Some walks.
I have been following baseball, watching baseball for 30-odd years. I've never seen them go through a lineup a third time. So this is a possibility. We're at the second last batter of number 8 batter in the lineup. Interesting. This scorecard, I'm not sure I'm going to have enough space on it. So we see a player being taken off the opposite field of us right now, too. And as we see a hit, splits the center fielder and the left fielder as Wilson Lee comes in to score.
They give up already.
And Lankhorst comes in to score as well as Michelli finds himself with the single. And it's really, really out of hand now. 14-0.
They're even not running anymore in the outfield there.
I mean, it was a bit of a difficult ball to get to, but the body language says it all. I agree with you, Angela. So Eddie Stummel, number 9 batter, is coming up for the second time. 2 out, 14-0 Bonn, first inning. Will we see Brank? And another hard hit into left and caught. Caught number 9 at the second time up in the first inning. The inning is mercifully over for the Doran Wild Farmers. It is 14-0. We'll come back with the bottom of the first here in Bonn.
Ich glaube, wir müssen von Spiel zu Spiel schauen.
Ich glaube, wir werden uns von Spiel zu Spiel steigern.
Nächstes Spiel angreifen. Wir haben noch ein Riesenspiel, das ist erstmal wieder am Freitag vor der Brust.
Jetzt ist am Samstag ein schweres Spiel.
Und Sonntag geht's weiter.
Es ist nur ein Spiel.
Was danach kommt, das wird man sehen.
Egal, was danach kommt, wir zeigen es live. Mit allen Spielen der 3. Liga, der Penny DEL und der Easy Credit BBL. Nur bei Magenta Sport.
Ja, ich glaub
Welcome back to Bonn, where the score is 14-0 in the bottom of the first inning. Angela, what's the game plan for the Wild Farmers to come back in this game, besides prayer?
I'd say do whatever you can to get your hits. You know, I mean, of course they have kind of given up to win this game, and everybody can understand that. But they will definitely try to have their hits and show what they can do offensively. You know, so.
Indeed. So at bat we have Zaino Enriquez. He's leading off, followed by Orlando Del Muro and Edvardas Matsvicius.
Matuzevicius.
I tried so hard on that name. I even practiced it. He'll be followed by Geraldo Gomez, Ivan Galkin, who is pitching, so I assume that has changed. Johannes Petzold will be the number 7 hitter. Sebastian Yap, Tim Nordke, and we see it as I
And
go
again
through the
through
lineup.
the middle. I mean, they are all going over second base. You know, everybody hits over second base today.
Exactly. So, hey, look, it looks good. The Wild Farmers are starting their long climb back in this game. So they have a runner on first. And just to end that lineup, I mentioned Tim Noke is the number 8 hitter, and then Wester Bocio Cabral will be hitting last. Sasha Koch on the mound for the Caps, 2-0, 15.1 innings pitched. 14 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned runs, strikeouts 23, ERA of 2.35. So Sasha, as he has long been, a feature, the ace of the Bonn Capitals staff. Enriquez at first base for the Wild Farmers. That pitch gets by the catcher, and Enriquez goes down to second. Del Muro at bat. He's had 44 bats this year, and he is batting .318, so strong hitter. He scored the most runs on the team. He's got 3 home runs, so he can put one over the fence. Foul back off the backstop. Trying to find out if Enriquez has any stolen bases. None on the season. So that pitch comes in outside, 2-2. The Wild Farmers don't have a lot of stolen bases. Most on the team is Matuzevicius with 2.
Okay, Matuzevicius. Yeah, I understand.
I'm just going to go to you every time that I have to say this gentleman's name. I'll just go to you. I think you say it right.
Just go with Edvardas.
I think that's a good idea. And as always, my mangling of the names is not intentional at all. Simply a shortcoming. At second base, Zaino Enriquez. At the plate, Del Muro. And he finds himself at first base with a walk. So Sasha puts the first 2 batters on. We may have ourselves a game.
Here he is. Try it again.
Matuzevicius,
Oh, not too bad.
thank you, is batting third and playing center field. And he's batting .295 on the season. Good hitter. Good all around, really. He's the RBI team leader. He's got 3 home runs. Now, Max Paulus, who's sitting 2 over from me, I see 22 strikeouts. That's how many times he struck out, or how many times he struck someone out, because he's also a pitcher? he struck someone out then. So he and his pitching capabilities did that. High hit into right field. And he catches it. Tagging from second is Enriquez. And he makes it in. Good throw, though. And from right field, from Lankhorst. Wasn't too close, but good toss all the same. One out with runners on second and third as Enriquez digs the dirt that is now in his pants and in his shirt. Mike MK is at the plate for the Wild Farmers. One out, 14-0 in the bottom of the first inning. Again, Bonn is the visiting team, even though we're playing in Bonn. It's the nature of the quarterfinals, the way it goes. Mike MK, 395 on the season. Swings and misses. Sasha had him on that pitch. No doubter there. 395 on the season, got 10 RBIs. 10 walks. 12 strikeouts, though. Yeah, he's hit 3 home runs. That is, I mean, this is not a home run hitting team. That's the highest on the team. Swing and a miss. Some big cuts there, but he's behind those pitches from Sasha. And that's it for MK as he strikes out. That'll bring up Sebastian Yap. He's the DH today. He's batting .323 on the season. Hails from Germany. Two out. Bottom of the first inning, 14-0 Bonn. Runners on second. That is Del Moro. And on third, Enriquez for the Wild Farmers. And the pitch comes in high. Looks like the softball game beside us has ended. The ambulance was here. We're not sure what the nature of the injury was. We're hoping, of course, it wasn't serious. Perhaps we can get a final score from that game at some point.
They haven't. I mean, probably they have given it up. Probably they have given it up, the game, because it was not finished at that point.
I see.
But it looks like they don't start again.
Yeah, certainly we hope everybody is okay. $14-0 here, Bonn. Swing and a miss. There was sort of a half-hearted attempt at that pitch by number 28, Yap. It's a long hill to climb for the Wild Farmers, of course. As Sasha shakes off his catcher. He's got it now. They wanted that strikeout, but was not granted one by the umpire, and the call is 2-2. Or the count is 2-2. It's nice to be at a game, Angela, where, you know, the major topic of discussion isn't COVID. Of course, we're still all concerned about it, of course, as everybody is everywhere. But, you know, at the game, it's nice to be focusing on baseball.
Yeah, actually, so the ballpark is open to visitors, no limitations. But I'm always try to tell people, okay, we are still in the middle of a pandemic.
True.
So don't still be safe, be secure. Just do everything you can to avoid any any infections.
Amen. 2-2 count. Any check swing into right field as the runner Enriquez comes round to score, and second the throw home at the plate, and behind him Del Muro scores. So 14-2 on an RBI hit by Sebastian Yap. It's 2 runners home. 2 out here, bottom of the first
what I
inning.
said before, the Wild Farmers will try to get their hits, to get their runs. I mean, they know they cannot win this game anymore, but to show their true faces.
Yeah, it was a nice hit into right field as well. Of course, Sasha has a lot of speed on those pitches, and it's nice waited on that pitch, check swing into right field, and there was some hesitation by Del Muro whether he should come home or not. I'm not sure what that hesitation was. There was didn't seem to be bobbling. Lankhorst wasn't bobbling the ball or anything like that in right field. So, in the end, it wasn't necessarily a close play at home, but it was also somewhat of a no-doubter that he should be going. In any case, 2-run score. Now, this Sasha, of course, is probably a little bit cold sitting on the bench for 14 runs. So I'm sure that it's going to take him a little bit to get warmed up and back into, the groove. Another chopper, this time to second. Stummel grabs it on to first base, and he's out for the third out. So Wild Farmers score 2 on their way back in this 14-2 game. We'll be right back on Caps TV. Welcome back. Welcome back to Bonn. The Capitals versus the Wild Farmers in Bonn. Yes, you're reading the score right. It's 14-2 in the top of the second inning. We are at the top of the lineup. Again, this is already in this game the third at-bat for Eric Brank. Let's go. What did he do in the first inning? Well, he walked in his first at-bat and he doubled in the second. And that pitch comes in just under his arm. So he's been on base twice, come around and scored twice. And a lot of players, the only ones who did not come around to score, as that pitch goes through the third baseman, that wasn't pretty. Just leave it at that, as Eric Brank finds himself on first base. The only ones who didn't come around to score, Vinny Aarons scored once out of 2 times, and McChelly scored 1 out of 2 times, and Eddie Stummel hasn't come around either time. But that's it. The rest have come around 2 times.
Yeah, and we had a 55 minutes first game. 55 minutes for one inning.
One inning. It's a long one. Vidig at the plate now. And he goes to left field. But right at the left fielder, who grabs it and throws it back. So a quick, relatively quick 1 out. That'll bring up Vinny Aarons. I see the bat boy in the Caps dugout. Why don't we give him a bat? Let him have a swing. High pop up. And it's going foul. Long game for the umpires as well to go through these innings. Not much of a break. But it's hard to complain if you're on the Bond Capitals, of course, because things are looking roses right now. But we were talking up here between innings. Of course, tomorrow's a different game. The nature of that game will likely be much different than this one due to the pitching.
Yeah, as I said before, I mean, when you look to the first games that we played against Doran, the second game was completely different.
Yeah.
And if you look to last weekend against Hamburg, the second game was completely different.
That's right. So don't just assume that Bonn will be sleepwalking their way through the second game. And we're not done this game either. We should emphasize that. Of course, yes, the score is 14-2.
Strikeout.
Yeah, strikeout as Aarons goes down on strikes, bringing up Terrell Joyce. So Tebin gets 2 quick outs here in this inning. And really, the hit by Brank, more of a third baseman issue than a pitching issue. 1-0 is count on Terrell Joyce. Terrell Joyce, we will recall, hit a big home run into just over the center field fence. In his most recent at-bat, he walked in his first of 2 appearances in the first inning. Come around to score twice. That pitch is also a ball, 3-0. Brank not being held on at all at first base. Again, I'm not sure stolen bases are the top of their concerns right now for the Wild Farmers. Check swing, and that's a strike. I think their big concern is just getting the heck out of this inning.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that pitch is low, and Terrell Joyce takes a trip down to first base. So runners on first and second with 2 out here in the top of the second inning. That brings up Daniel Lamb Hunt. Daniel Lamb Hunt has also come around to score twice in this game, as have a lot of other players. Pitcher delivers. And that's a ball. 1-0. So at second base, we've got Eric Brank. And at first base, so Brank singled. And he took second on the walk that Terrell Joyce just got, who is at first base. And that pitch comes in low, 2-0. Two out here in the second inning. 3-0 count now on Daniel Lamb Hunt. Angela, next inning, let's talk a little Champions Cup, shall we?
Absolutely, yeah.
And that comes in for a strike. 3-1 now on Daniel Lamb Hunt. hit down. Shortstop grabs it, throws on to second. 2 and the inning. 14-2 here in Bonn in favor of the Bonn Capitals over the Doran Wild Farmers. We will head to the bottom of the second right after this on Caps TV. Welcome back to Bonn Capitals baseball. The score is 14-2 for the Bonn Capitals over the Doran Wild Farmers in this first quarterfinal game here in Bonn, where Bonn is the visiting team. Bonn scored 14 runs in the first inning, no runs in the second, in their at-bat in the second. Right now, Alejandro Giraldo is at the plate. Not much of an average to speak of from what I see, so he is a bit of a mystery to us as well. Not much stats on this guy at all. We shall see what we get. And right now what we get is a chopper out to second base, stumble on to first, and gets him in time. 1 out in the inning. Players throw the ball around the diamond. So, Angela, give us a little update on what happened during the Champions Cup.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the Champions Cup was an amazing event amazing tournament for the Bonn Capitals, because they have beaten all the strong teams from Italy and from the Netherlands. So they have beaten one Italian team. They have beaten Parma once, and they have beaten 2 Dutch teams. And then they lost the finals to Parma, playing Parma again, so an Italian team. But I mean, Baseball Germany is really proud of the Bonn Capitals.
Absolutely.
Because second seeded in the European Champions Cup. So Bonn is definitely on the European landscape now. So.
Right, and from what I understand, there's 56 hits in 5 games.
Yeah.
And how many home runs? I know
11 home
11 home runs. This is really well played.
And this is how they came back. And you know, I mean, of course, we had some home run hitters like Terrell Joyce or Wilson Lee or so, but in general, you can see this was really a team effort, because everybody was bringing in whatever they could.
Tim Nulke strikes out, by the way. 2 out.
So everybody was into it, you know, whoever was on the field. And so everybody had their hits. I mean, of course, you can name some people like Wilson Lee, like Terrell Joyce, like Sasha Koch in the first game. Or, for example, Nick Michelli as a closer. He did a great job as a closer. It was really impressive. And maybe later on we can show you what happened here when they were back. They were 2 days off, just 2 days off, after a tournament with 5 days in a row, a game every day. They came back and had 2 days off, and when they came back to practice here on Wednesday, the Bond Capitals fan club, the BC Unity, was expecting them.
Nice.
And we have a little video about that. Maybe we can show that later.
Okay, well, Sasha is finding his heat again, and he strikes out Petzold. We are now heading towards the top of the third inning, and we'll be right back on Caps.
I will show you the little video right now. So
Okay, we'll stay on and show that video, and I will be quiet.
Oh, baby Thomas! Sorry, Eric.
So guys, you have seen the video that that the fan club did about how they expected them back from. It was not on a game day. They just came out that night for the practice of the team and to celebrate them. So thanks to the fan club for doing this.
Yeah, very nice gesture, and they are appreciated, of course, here in Bonn. And at the plate here is Daniel Lem Hunt.
It's Wilson Lee.
Sorry, Wilson Lee, of course. I'm distracted by that very nice video. Wilson Lee, who has come around and scored twice today as he chops that foul. It's 1-1, the count. Angela, I'm going to go around the league and maybe tell the viewers a few of the scores happening right now. Stuttgart has defeated Haar 9-3. Solingen lost to Dortmund 9-8. Berlin beat Köln 13-3. In the 4:30 games, of course, there's 2 underway of 3. In the game that finished, Dortmund lost to Solingen 17-2, as we see. Hit to the shortstop on the first. That's an out.
Yeah, I mean, the most important games here today are the evening games because these are the playoffs.
Yes, I'm not quite finished with the other ones yet,
Okay.
though. So let's finish that. Stuttgart is beating Haar right now 8-3. Köln is beating Berlin 11-2. And night games, go ahead.
Yeah, the night games are the quarterfinals. Actually, in the North Group, it's the quarterfinals, Doren and Bonn and Hamburg and Paderborn. And in the South, it's the semifinals between Heidenheim and Regensburg.
That's the game, right,
Yeah.
Angela, to watch.
And so Heidenheim leads at the bottom of the second inning with 5-0 right now. And Paderborn against Hamburg in Paderborn, but Hamburg is the home team. It's the same like here. Has the 2-0 lead. By Paderborn is leading 2-0 right now.
Right, and here 14-2, fairly good chances Bonn comes out of this one with positive result. And he slow pitches that one in. Steven does. And the count is 1-2 on Daniel Langhorst.
I mean, to be honest, everybody expects Bonn and Heidenheim again in the finals. But you'll see. I mean, Regensburg is pretty strong this season. Let's see this pop up here.
Yeah, no problem. 2 out. Sorry, finish that thought,
yeah,
please.
So Regensburg is pretty strong this season, and Paderborn was a little weak at the beginning of the season. So we play, if we win this series here, what we expect, then next weekend we will play Paderborn if they win the game against Hamburg. And it's not an easy team to play, so.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, we saw a few blowout games, of course, and I can't recall the scores against Paderborn, but I think they were also not so close.
We had a big lead against Paderborn in the second game. We were leading 11-2, and then we changed pitchers, and they came in the last inning very close to 11-10. So.
And down to the second baseman, on to first, and that'll end the inning. Very short inning compared to the first one. Yeah. All right, so we head to the bottom of the third here on Caps TV.
Das ist Mia. Mia hat zu Hause einen richtig schönen Designboden, der aber auch leider oberflächige Schäden und tiefe Kratzer aufweist. Dr. Schütz hat dafür die Lösung mit Produkten für die Reinigung und Pflege, wie das Designboden-Pflegeset und um tiefe Kratzer zu beseitigen, das Scratch Fix Repair Set. Und damit Mia genau weiß, wie man ihre Böden zu Hause perfekt pflegt und schützt, gibt es unsere Tutorials auf dem Dr. Schütz YouTube-Channel. Für Mia und euch alle. Damit muss sich Mia nicht mehr um ihre Böden sorgen, sondern kann ganz beruhigt unsere Caps anfeuern. Go Caps!
And welcome back to Bonn. Dorn Wild Farmers are batting here in the bottom of the third inning in a game they trail 14-2. Zino Enriquez is at bat for the Wild Farmers. Now you'll recall that he led the game off with a single after that 14-run top of the first inning by Bonn. He's got a good-looking stance at the plate, Enriquez does. Let's talk about players that just look like players, right? They have a look, and to me, he has that stance at the plate. Sasha delivers, and so Lankhorst comes in for that ball, then realizes it's carrying a bit, goes back and grabs it. 1 out in the inning. That'll bring up Del Muro, second batter. Batting .318 on the year. He's from Mexico. Three home runs on the year. Again, this team does not hit a lot of home runs, but he's hit 3 of them. Just had a conversation last night about baseball in Mexico. A gentleman who is from Mexico City come over for dinner, and we had a good conversation about the Mexican leagues. And I've been to see a few games down there, and they're extremely exciting. They get a lot of major league players down there as well, coming in usually either in a sort of rehabilitate their career, or they're starting out as well. A number of different things, but it's extremely competitive. Great fans there. I always look forward to seeing a game in Mexico City.
Yeah, I mean, we had some players playing here in the summer in Germany and going in the winter to play in Mexico. So, and some others are playing in Australia over the German winter. So,
it's quite a ways to go either way to play baseball. But this is their lives. They love to play. They need to play, and they'll go anywhere to play, as we see. And so Sasha loses Del Muro on and he walks him. So with 1 out, to the plate comes your friend and mine in pronunciation, Matu Savicius.
Oh, very good.
Thank you very much.
Edvardas.
I have to talk to this gentleman, and we'll have a good conversation about his name. I'll apologize in person for the number of times I've missed it. In any case, runner at first base is Del Muro.
Yeah, I mean, Edvardas Matusevicius is playing with Doran for quite a while, so and he's a utility player, so he can pitch, he can play outfield, and
yeah, he is. He's a very good player. We should point that out. Again, 295 average. It's a .66 ERA. By the way, he in his pitching, he's pitched 13 innings too. So he's from Lithuania. As he splits the defense, the Caps defense, and he finds himself at first base with a single, and that advances Del Muro up to second. So we see why that that batting average is the way it is. I'll bring up Mike MK. Now he's just out of the reach. The shortstop, Eric Brank, and the third baseman. Just between the two of them. And that's a strike. 0-1. MK 395 on the season. And a high pop-up, but it's shallow. Fielder's coming in. And that is taken no problem at all for Wilson Lee for the second out of the inning. I'll bring up Sebastian Yab. I believe I have him on first base. On my scorecard, I believe he had a single in his first at-bat. Bottom of the third inning, 14-2, Caps over the Wild Farmers. 14-run first inning for the Caps, in case you're joining us just a bit late. Swing and a miss. Nice hard pitch by Sasha. 0-1. So that first Bond Capitals, again, I'll say it again, that Bond Capitals are the visiting team. Due to the nature of the quarterfinals, the first inning took over 50 minutes to play, but the last few innings or at bats have gone quite a bit shorter, and mercifully shorter for all involved. So runners at first and second, Del Muro and Matusevicius for the Wild Farmers. Foul back. 0-2 remains the count. Yap will be followed by Wester Bosillo, if he manages to get on. That pitch comes in high. 1-2. A lot of fans have stuck around despite the score. It's a beautiful night for baseball, despite some rain. We saw it earlier on today, and we thought we might get into the evening. If the Capitals, there's rain expected later, maybe some thunderstorms. The Capitals have innings like they had in the first. We may end up seeing some of that. But last few appearances at the plate for both teams have gone a bit quicker. Sasha delivers. Looks like a curve. Also high, 2-2. So he goes from an 0-2 count to a 2-2 count. And that hit is into right field and to the fence. Past Langhorst, who grabs the ball and watches as two runners come around to score. No. Back to third base. At third base. So Del Muro comes around to score. Matsavicius was the one that was at third. Thought he might try for home. Had second thoughts. Goes back to third. The throw came in late. He's still there. And a nice hit by Sebastian Yap to the fence. That'll bring up Wester Bossio. .341 is his average for the year. It's from the Dominican Republic. Foul ball. 0-1 is the count. Have to shake that one off. Never feels good taking one off the foot. Dominican Republic, a fine, fine nation for producing baseball players. The competition there is fierce, of course. A great, great number of players from the Dominican Republic have shown up in the major leagues as well. Among them, in the Toronto Blue Jays, the best team in the league, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
I mean, you don't see that from their score, but and
They're-
their record, you don't see
Liz,
that from
Liz
their record.
Angela, listen, they're holding their fire. They're just saving their energy for the second half of this season. You just watch.
Okay.
But to the point, the Dominican Republic is produced a lot of great baseball players, and the teams in the MLB have greatly profited from their talent, and us here as well, as we see players from a number of different nations. Sasha delivers. 0-2 was the count. It is now 1-2 as that pitch is in the dirt. One of the things I do enjoy about baseball here in Germany is checking out where everybody comes from, because while there are, of course, a number of German players, there's players from all over, and that's really exciting. And again, a hit into right field, and that one lands in front of Langhorst. And coming around to score comes two more runs. Matsavicius scores.
One more.
One more run. Matsavicius comes in to score.
Two?
And
Two, yeah.
indeed. So, and Sebastian Yao comes in to score. So 2 runs score. It is 14-5.
Yeah, so looks like Sasha has not his best day today.
Again, that rest maybe in the first inning did not help matters. That pitch comes into a strike to Alejandro Geraldo. Hit up into center field, comes in and bounces. Oh, no, it didn't. The umpire is motioning that he caught it. It looked like he may have trapped the ball, but he caught it on the ground. And so very nice play by Terrell Joyce, and that'll end the inning. 14-5 is the score as we head to the top of the 4th. We'll be right back here on Caps TV. And welcome back to Caps TV, where the score is 14-5 for the Capitals over the Wild Farmers. Eddie Stummel at the plate. Bonn Capitals scored 14 runs in the first inning. Eddie Stummel is 0 for 2 for the day. Flew out to center, flew out to left field. Only one who hasn't come in to score. He's hoping, of course, to change that. So 2-1 is the count on Stummel. Top of the fourth inning, and that's a strike. Let's do a little today in baseball. Today in 1926, for the second time that season, Lou Gehrig swipes home on the front end of a double steal with Babe Ruth as the trailing runner. The Yankee first baseman will steal 102 bases during his career. As Eddie Stummel sends one out to center field, but that is caught by the center fielder, and he's retired to turn the order over once again to Eric Brink. This is his fourth at-bat already this game. He is 2 for 3, but one of those was a walk. He's come around to score twice. So back to that this day in baseball bit in 1926. The Yankee first baseman, of course, stole 102 bases during his career, with 15 of the thefts being of home plate. Now, you don't hear that much anymore. So that's pretty interesting.
So I think it's about time that I think it's about time that the Capitals come back to their offense, right? I mean, there was a strong first inning, and since then we haven't seen anything, so.
Yes, that's true. That pitch comes in for a ball, 2-0. Well, there's 14-5. If you're looking for a mercy, you're a 1 run over. So the Bonn Capitals hoping to plate a few more. Not much wind to speak of still. Ball seems to be carrying, though. We saw a few hits out to right field, out to Langhorst in the previous inning and the one before that. That, yes, did seem to carry. And Brink, second walk of the game, is on first base. 1 out. That'll bring up Joe Vidic. Joe Vidic made a nice catch out there in left field earlier. Sorry, flew out to left field earlier. Made a nice catch in the game himself earlier. So Bonn, as the strike comes in, Bonn scores 14 in the first, none in the second, none in the third. Let's see what they do here in the fourth. The pitcher, by the way, is still Daniel Thieben for the Wild Farmers, who came in to relieve Ivan Gatkin as that ball. The catcher has some problems with that ball, and Brink goes down to second. So Gatkin gave up 12 of the 14 runs. Vidic wearing number 45. 391 average on the season. Thieben sets and delivers. And a hit up the middle. We've been saying that a few times today. As Brent comes around third and stays at third. Vidic, a nice hit into center field. Nice single. 1 out, 2 on. Runners on the corners. That brings up Vinny Aarons. Vinny Aarons struck out in his last at-bat. Came around to score on the first. Well, the first at-bat of the first. And a pop up into left field. And he takes. Terrell Joyce at the plate now. Terrell Joyce walked in his last appearance, hit one over the center field fence previous to that. Goes out and talks to the third base coach. Two out, 15-5 is the score. Capitals over the Wild Farmers in this first quarterfinal game of this weekend. And just over the shortstop's head, singles. Bobbles it in center field, and the runners hold first and second. I'll bring up Daniel M. Hunt.
I guess Daniel wants to join the party here, so.
Yeah, I would
mean,
imagine
he had this
so.
one hit with a broken bat, but.
I think that went into center field too. A lot of hits into center today.
That's true.
A lot of hits, period, today. And the pitcher even steps off. And the fans, a round of applause going. We've had lots to cheer about today, but they are hungry for more. And a big hit into left field. That looks
gone,
like it
right?
is long gone.
Long gone.
3-run home run for Daniel Lamb Hunt. You were saying, Angela, that he wanted to get into things. He got into things right there.
Absolutely.
Wow. Moonshot.
It was high, but it was also wide, so.
So what's the tally now, Angela?
I said they have to get something going again in this inning after they did nothing in 2 innings.
You ask, and
So,
they delivered.
They listened to me.
18-5 is the score now.
Glad they listened to me.
One has to feel, of course, for the pitcher, Teben, on the mound. As I say, but you also have to feel pretty good if you're Daniel Lamb Hunt, but that was a beautiful hit. Wilson Lee grounded out to the shortstop in his last at-bat. It's a very colorful scorecard I have here. Lots of shaded in diamonds.
I know why Daniel Lampard hit a home run.
Why is that?
He's
Because
now
you
even again
asked
with,
for it.
He's now even again with Terrell Joyce.
Okay.
Everybody has 8 home runs for this season.
Nothing wrong with a little healthy competition. And he hits Wilson Lee with a pitch. A little bit of everything. A potpourri of pitches. Potpourri of runs, hits, bats. Everything you asked for is in this game so far. That ball boy is getting a workout today.
Absolutely.
He's earning his money.
He's from the Little League team of the Capitals. I have to find out what his name
Yeah,
is because I
indeed.
don't know him by seeing him. So
He'll sleep well tonight. Pitch on the way. Wilson Lee down at first base. Lankhorst at the plate. Foul back. $18-5 is the score. Caps over the Wild Farmers. And a swing, and it appears, was that a foul back, Angela? Looks like it might have been.
I don't know.
Or-
Ask,
yeah.
ask the umpire.
I'm unsure what the umpire signaled. Looks like Wilson Lee staying at second, so I'm going to assume it was a pass ball. Yeah, so Lee on second. 1-2 count. 18-5 to score, 2 out. Top of the fourth. The body language of the Wild Farmers in the field kind of says it all. It's a long game for them, obviously, as well. Mighty swing and a miss, and that'll end the inning. Another 4 runs come in to score, and it is 18-5 for the Wild Farmers over the Capitals. We'll be right back on Caps TV.
Wir müssen von Spiel zu Spiel schauen. Ich glaube, wir werden uns von Spiel zu Spiel steigern.
Nächstes Spiel angreifen. Wir haben noch ein Riesenspiel jetzt erstmal wieder am Freitag vor der Brust.
Es ist am Samstag ein schweres Spiel.
Und Sonntag geht's weiter.
Es ist nur ein Spiel.
Was danach kommt, das wird man sehen.
Egal, was danach kommt, wir zeigen es live. Mit allen Spielen der dritten Liga, der Penny DEL und der Easy Credit BBL. Nur bei Magenta Sport.
Ja, ich glaube.
Welcome back to Bonn. Foul back. 18-5 is the score for the Capitals over the Wild Farmers. Lots of run this. If you like a lot of hitting, this is the game for you. Particularly if you're a Bonn Capitals fan. Tim Noke at the plate. He is the right fielder for the Wild Farmers. He struck out in his previous at-bat. And he struck out at this at-bat as well. 1 down. Sasha had a bit of a rockier appearance today, but you have to think, if you've been sitting for 14 runs in the first inning, it will throw you off your game. So perhaps that was one of the reasons. Nevertheless, pitching strong today. You would imagine Doran is just trying to get through this inning as he lays down a bunt. We haven't seen that yet. And he gets on with a bunt. So the Wild Farmers have a runner. Vinny Aaron's had that ball and bobbled it a little bit. Allowed the runner to get there. So the Wild Farmers getting a little wild here in the bottom of the fourth. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Johannes Petzold. He's the third baseman. Thinking of throwing down to first base. No doing. You'd think Vinny Aarons would love to throw him out after after dropping that ball. Get a little sweet revenge. But it was a surprise hit. No, I don't think anybody saw bunt coming, so keeping everyone on their toes. Top of the order, Zino Henriquez. Swings and misses, throws down to first. Save. Woo. Just got that arm in. So yeah, Vinny Irons wants that guy at first. He wants a little revenge. Throws again to first, and no go there. I love the little games in baseball. The game within the game is always very enjoyable to watch. So 2-2 count on Enriquez. Runner not going. 3-2 the count. Nulke at first base. Delivery swings and misses, but foul tip. Angela, did we ever hear what the score was of what the result was of the softball game?
No, but I found out what she had. She had a ball here at her forehead, and it was bleeding.
Okay, so a runner was hit in the head in the other game. So foul ball down to first base, but that was foul ball. No, I hope it's the player will be okay.
And it looks like they didn't finish the game.
Yeah, the game did not get finished. Hopefully they'll have a chance to resume at some point or replay or however they're going to manage that. Here the count is 3-2 on Henriquez. 1 out in the bottom of the fourth inning. Sasha delivers, bounces it into the plate and loses. Enriquez sprints down to first base like that hustle. So 1 out, 2 on. And that'll bring up Del Muro. Del Muro walked twice in his first 2 appearances. See if Sasha gets him this time. Swinging a high pop-up. Looks like it's going foul. And indeed it is as the fans scramble. And it lands very gently after going through the foliage of the tree. Thank goodness for those trees. It's a wonder they have any leaves left. So 0-1 the count on Del Muro, who, as we established the last time he is up, is from Mexico. Pitch sends a curve in, but the outside. Mentioned before, 318 is the average for Del Muro. Good hitter. And a solid hit into center field as Terrell Joyce goes back at the wall. Makes a great catch at the wall. Runners tag up and move ahead. And they don't get him at second, but what a catch by Terrell Joyce out in center field.
Yeah, absolutely. He had to go
pretty.
back, and he got it.
Very nice. Put a little star by that one. As we said, the runners did move up, so we have Unoke on third base, Enriquez at second. And that'll bring to the plate Matusavicius. As the game goes on, I keep trying. 2 out, bottom of the fourth inning, 18-5 Bonn. Pitch is outside. Okay, quite a lead at third base. But Sasha's not too concerned with a lead this big about what goings on at third. He just needs to deal with this batter, and he's a good one. And a hit to the shortstop. Brank on to first, and that'll end the bottom of the fourth inning. Bonn remains in front, 18-5. We'll be right back on Caps TV. All right, welcome back to Bonn. We are in the top of the fifth inning, where Bonn continues to lead by a good margin. The score is 18-5 over the Wild Farmers. Nick Michelli at the plate. He grounded out to the second baseman in his third at-bat of the game. And that one gave him a bit of a haircut.
Yeah, absolutely.
Enzo, we got an update and an out-of-town score.
Yeah, we have an update. Interesting score here with Heidenheim and Regensburg. They are still in the fourth inning. They started also at 6 o'clock, as we did. So they are in the fourth inning, and Regensburg scored 6 runs in the top of the fourth inning.
Wow.
So it's 6-6 now.
That's not a bad inning. Few teams having good innings.
Absolutely not a bad inning.
I see Paderborn is beating Hamburg 2-0.
I see that Heidenheim just scored the 7th run. So, but still, they are in the fourth inning, so it's still a lot of innings to go at their game.
Indeed. Here, Nick Michelli has a 3-0 count. Pincher, Thieben doing the honors of trying to get his team across the finish line, loses Michelli to a walk. And the beat goes on.
And we have a new player here, so
Here we
Kevin
go.
Lamberts is in for Eddie Stommel.
Lamberts. Let me just gather my thoughts here. Lamberts has a .214 average on the season. And he struck out 4 times. He's got 3 runs on the season as well. So, not a lot of at-bats. It's 14 compared to the rest of the team. But happy to be in the game, I'm sure. Runner at first base, Nick Michelli, who was walked. Pitch comes in for a strike. 0-1.
Yeah, Kevin Lamberts is the second base substitute, so to speak, for Eddie Stommel, and he's playing pretty well when he's in the game this season. So, I mean, he's anyway playing pretty well in defensively, but in the offense here, we have his record here with 214 average. Although he does not play very often, but
Indeed, it's hard to get that average up if you're in every once in a while to get a groove going. It's a little more difficult. So it's a tough job coming on. Every once in a while, it's hard to get any repetition. Of course, baseball players are such students of the repetitive habit is such a big part of the game as well for them. So in this case, he strikes out as Teben takes him down. Now, that will flip the order once again. I've said that a few times today to the top, and Eric Brink will find his way to the plate again. Eric Brink, this is his 5th at-bat today. Let's see. Take a deep breath. Walk twice, double, single. Let's see what he does here. Had himself a day. He's crossed that home plate 3 times. Big hit into left field. That stays
that's a
fair.
double, definitely.
At least a double. It goes into the corner, and he rounds into second. And the runner comes home. Michelli scores. And the fans, even though it's run number 19, give him a big hand. Gotta love the Bond fans.
Nice hit again to left field from Eric Brink.
Such a smooth swing, perfectly hit, right into the corner. Well-deserved double. And an RBI, of course. So that's his second double of the day. I remember when I could hit like that. No, wait. I don't. That's somebody else's memory. I never hit like that. 2 doubles, single, 2 walks. That's a good day for Brink. Joe Vittig, right back to the pitcher. Is he going to get there? A throw on to first. Nice play by the pitcher to Teben to get it to first base to get Vittig just in time. I wasn't sure that sort of feeble throw to the side.
I wasn't sure either if he was really out. So
Well, yeah, so in any case, he was called out, and we have 2 outs now in the inning. And Brink stayed at third base. Hit the pitcher, then makes a side throw to first. Vinny Aarons flew out to left field last time. Big chop at that one. He struck out in the third, the second? Everything is all over the place. That was the second. But he came across the plate in the first, and everybody's had a piece of that home plate today. Yeah, the only one I don't have crossing home plate actually is Stummel, who's now out of the game. That number 9 position, he's the only one that hasn't come across the plate. So, something else to aim for in the game. It's a foul back, just over our heads. 1-2 is the count. 2 out. 19-5 for the Caps. First of what they hope is 2 games this weekend. Next one tomorrow at noon.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here, of course, with the same crew, the same crack team to call the game.
But to people from Bonn and around, gates are open. Buy your ticket here at the gates. No pre-registration necessary, so you can come and watch the game.
That's right. Bring your significant other. Make it a romantic day out. Bring your kids.
Have some French fries.
Bring your
and
wallet.
A burger.
And a hit down to shortstop, on to first base. Gets him to end the inning. 19-5 is the score. We'll be right back on Caps TV.
Müssen wir ein Spiel zu Spiel schauen.
Ich glaube, wir werden uns von Spiel zu Spiel steigern.
Nächstes Spiel angreifen.
Wir haben noch ein Riesenspiel jetzt erstmal wieder am Freitag vor der Brust.
Es ist am Samstag ein schweres Spiel.
Und Sonntag geht's weiter.
Es ist nur ein Spiel.
Was danach kommt, das wird man sehen.
Egal, was danach kommt, wir zeigen es live. Mit allen Spielen der dritten Liga, der Penny DEL und der Easy Credit BBL. Nur bei Magenta Sport.
Das ist Mia. Mia hat zu Hause einen richtig schönen Designboden, der aber auch leider oberflächige Schäden und tiefe Kratzer aufweist. Dr. Schütz hat dafür die Lösung mit Produkten für die Reinigung und Pflege, wie das Designboden-Pflegeset und um tiefe Kratzer zu beseitigen, das Scratch Fix Repair Set. Und damit Mia genau weiß, wie man ihre Böden zu Hause perfekt pflegt und schützt, gibt es unsere Tutorials auf dem Dr. Schütz YouTube-Channel. Für Mia und euch alle. Damit muss sich Mia nicht mehr um ihre Böden sorgen, sondern kann ganz beruhigt unsere Caps anfeuern. Go Caps!
So welcome back to Bonn, where the score is 19-5 as we go into the bottom of the fifth inning and Wild Farmers at bat. We have some changes. We have a new pitcher for Bonn. That's Noah Lind. We haven't seen him in a little bit. He's got a 2.70 ERA, 4 strikeouts on the year. Now, there's been some other changes in the field for Bonn as well. Justice Recchi will come in to replace Terrell Joyce. However, he will go to right field, and Langhorst moves over to center field, where Terrell Joyce was playing. At bat, sorry, we have one more change as well. Who did I miss? Vela replaces Daniel Lamhunt at first base. And that's Mike Emke at the plate. 1-1 is the count. I think we're all caught up now. Noah Lint throws it in and fouled back. 1-2 ahead in the count. It's a nice sign.
Yeah, to talk a little bit about Noah Lind, he's only 17 years old and he just came back together with Paul Schmitz, our other youngster on the mound, from the U18 European Championships. And they got the bronze medal, so third place. That was 2 weeks ago.
Very nice. Future bodes well. 17. Wow. Chopper down the first base side. Foul. 2-2 remains the count. The only other time I've seen him, he pitched quite well. This was earlier on in the year, I think. So that third strike gets past Vinny Ahrens, and then the runner makes it down to first. MK makes it down to first base. So Lynn strikes him out, but pass ball. Runner at first. That'll bring up Sebastian Yap. He is the DH today, wearing number 28. He has 3 home runs on the year for the Wild Farmers, the most they have. And a fine, upstanding citizen of Germany is his nationality. Pop up. Foul. Will he get there? No, he doesn't. So, Feather went down on his knees to get that one and just about got it, but didn't get there in time. That's a tough one. Just in front of the Capitals dugout. 1-1 is count. MK at first on that. We'll call it a pass ball, I guess. Last at bat, and it looks like Lint. That ball, I wasn't sure if that hit the batter, but it looks like it bounced in.
Yeah.
On that pitch, however, MK moves to second. By hook or by crook, MK's getting around those bases. Chopper down to third. Grabbed and thrown on to first. Nice play.
Very nice. He
Fitting.
looked at second base, took his time.
Nice control on that play. Joe Vittig looking sharp down there in the hot corner. MK remains at second. 1 out. That'll bring to the plate Bocio.
Cabral. Bocio Cabral.
Bocio Cabral. Well, it's Wester Bocio Cabral. It's the full name. Either way, he has an 0-1 count with 1 out. Looks at the runner. MK says hi. Well, that was, had him fooled on that pitch. Lint did. Almost saw the hitter a step back a bit as he starts with that front foot back to begin with. So on that one, he looked like he was moving back even further on that pitch. Takes another little swing at that as well. 0-2 is the count.
It looked like a swing, but they didn't give it.
They didn't give him the swing. It looked like a swing. Anyway, 1-2 is the count. He's having problems with Lint, though. It looks like. Again, Lint had him fooled on all 3 of those pitches. Strikes him out. 2 out. Nice going by Lint. 17-year-old comes in and it's 2 down. I'll bring up to the plate Alejandro Giraldo. Scores 19-5. Favor of the Caps. Strike called. The fans are still into this game. It's nice to see. Lint delivers. Ball. Runner at second base, Mike MK, got on after a strikeout / pass ball. That third strike, he made it to first base. Then got to second on a ball bounced in.
Wow, big swing.
And a big swing there. And Lint is, it's like the last time I saw him. He's got some sharpness to him. Nice pitches. 1-2 the count. 2 out. Bottom of the 5th. That comes in. It looked like a good pitch.
I think it was on the corner, but as we said, the umpire calls
Indeed.
the strikes.
Lint nods. Likes the sign. Bounces it in.
Full count now.
Lint sets, looks back at the runner. Just fouled down the first baseline. Geraldo Gomez, 267 average. Hits it down to second base under the glove. The runner stays at third base. MK does. That was a tough one, and Lambert's, it just got under his glove. So runners on the corner now for with 2 out for the Wild Farmers here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That'll bring up Tim Nulke. MK at third, Geraldo at first for the Wild Farmers. .44 Nulke has a .313 average. Also a citizen of Germany. And Lint sends that one a bit inside. Runners on the corner, bottom of the 5th inning. The 1-1 count. Delivery. Call down to first base. The first baseman umpire says he did not go around. Count is 2-1. Another ball, 3-1. A couple of those pitches look pretty good. I think Lint agrees with that. And just a little hit out to first base, pops it up and snags it, and that ends the inning. 19-5 remains the score. So we head to the top of the 6th here on Caps TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bonn. 19-5 is the score here in the top of the 6th inning. Justice Recchi, his first appearance at the plate, taking over for Terrell Joyce. Bott playing right field, and he immediately comes on and sends one into left field, going, and gone. Oh my goodness, I barely got it. I barely finished introducing him.
That is a start, right?
First pitch he sees. Over the fence. Welcome to the game, Mr. Recchi. He got tired of sitting on the bench watching Angela. He wanted a piece of that action, and he delivered as he fist bumps the bat boy and makes it 20-5. Nice hit. So, welcome to the game, Justice Recchi. That'll bring
So
up
let's see what Leonard Vella,
Yeah.
who's also new to the game.
another new player. Set a high standard for players coming into the game so far. Doesn't matter how far you're ahead. A home run is always a beautiful thing to see. If you're cheering for that particular team, of course.
But a very smooth hit, you know, easy
Yes.
going.
Very nice swing. Two and one is the count now. Keeping the fans entertained throughout the game. Players doing a good job. The pitcher, Theben, perhaps not so entertained, but he throws a strike in there, 2-2. Vela, he has 160 average on the season. It's 25 at bats. Also, of course, from Germany. And he pops it up into the infield. Shortstop and the third baseman converge. And the shortstop grabs it. And that's one out, down for the inning. So that'll bring up Wilson Lee. Wilson Lee's come around every time he's been at bat today.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, it looks.
Wow.
Yes. Again, the scorecard is full of ink, so it's a little hard to follow, but yes, that's the record I have for him. Takes that one for a strike. One and one. Angela, would you like a trivia question?
Oh, I'm bad at that. But here's another hit
That
from
is a beautiful. Oh, and
Lee.
gets under the glove of the center fielder. That can't happen. You have to get down for those. That's basic baseball. But again, it sort of shows what happens when you're trailing by 15 runs. In any case,
Okay, what is the
Wilson
trivia question?
Wilson Lee is on first. No, second, sorry. Trivia question. What female pitcher struck out both Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig? Was it? And it's multiple choice. Jackie Morgan, Jackie Whitmore, Jackie Mitchell, or Jackie Jacksonson?
I have no idea.
Say 1, 2, 3, or 4.
3.
You're right. It's Jackie Mitchell. Angela.
Yes.
Don't be so humble.
Of course I knew it.
You knew.
Of course.
Very
No doubt
nicely
about that.
done. And so in this particular game,
Hit by pitch.
he's hit by a pitch. Lankhorst is, just to get back, Jackie Mitchell is 17-year-old female pitcher for the AA Chattanooga Lookouts, once played for the New York Yankees in an exhibition game, struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig in succession, which Angela, of course, knew. So
Of course.
very good job.
At my age, you know those things.
You weren't there for that game. You can't fool me.
You never know.
I don't believe you. So, Lankhorst hit by pitch. Wilson Lee is at second base. One out at the plate is Nick
Michelli, yeah.
Nick Michelli, yes, as I go through and try and decipher my own handwriting. Yeah, strike called. 1-1. Bond is still looking for a few more runs, apparently.
Yeah, we said that earlier during Corona times they have the mercy rule of 15 runs.
Another
But-
strike.
So after at least 5 innings. So if Doran does not score in the bottom of the 6th, the game is over.
Okay. One would think that this game may be a bit out of reach for them. But rules are the rules. And another pitch comes close to hitting a batter. This time, Michelli's got a smile on his face. I don't think anybody would accuse the pitcher of that being intentional. I think he would just be happy to get out of the inning. And a hit into right field. Right fielder goes back to the fence and catches it. Nice play at the warning track as the runners are forced to go back. Hey, that was a nice play by the right fielder. Right fielder there is Tim Nulke. Knulke. Thank you, Angela. Very nice play up against, almost to the fence, I would say. On the warning track at the very least. So props to him. That'll bring up Kevin Lamberts. Wilson Lee still at second. Lankhorst at first. And a bit of a swing. And he calls a strike on that. No appeal.
Okay.
2 out. Top of the 6th inning. 20-5. Don't forget, tomorrow's game starts at 12 noon. Bounces it in. The runners advance. Both of them, second to third. Lee on to third. Lankhorst to second. Tickets available. Come to the game tomorrow. We would love to have you watch, of course.
And have your lunch here, a burger, some French fries.
Exactly. It smells great up here. We're forced to be right above this barbecue. We smell the food the whole game, so we're always hungry. But they do a great job out here. A great way to spend the Sunday. Bring your family. Bring Aunt Mabel. Bring them all. 2-1 is the count. And it gets past the catcher as Wilson Lee leisurely comes into home base. And Lankhorst moves up to third base. So the score now is 21-5.
He could jog there.
Yeah,
because the catcher was not.
The catcher was not in a hurry to get that.
It, so.
No, that's a bit of. Yes, you're right on that, Angela. Leisurely stroll all around. So, Lankhorst at third base. And I don't mean to laugh. I mean, it's a tough game if you're a pitcher, but he even threw that ball in like he was just tossing with his buddy. Of course, now the coach comes out, have a little discussion. Right now, of course, they want just to get out of this inning. They've got 2 out, and they just can't close the book on this inning. So, once again, your friend and mine, Eric Brink, is
yeah, like the 6th time or the 7th?
So this is the 6th time, and I almost need, and I need this stoppage to sort of go through what he did only in this game. Right. First at-bat was a walk. Second at-bat was a double. Third at-bat was a single. Walked in his fourth at-bat. Doubled in the 5th at-bat. And here we are in his 6th at-bat. I'm not sure if we do a most valuable player for the game, but I'd say he'd be up there for contention if there was.
Looks like.
And a pop-up. And the second baseman grabs it. The inning is over, and nobody's happier than Teeben, the pitcher. Bond scores a couple more. 21-5 as we head to the bottom of the 6th here on Caps TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bonn. 21-5 is the score in favor of the Caps. Noah Lint on the mound, still for the Caps. Throws a ball to Petzold, the number 9 batter in the Wild Farmers order. Mighty swing by Petzold. Now, you know, Lint has really got a few of these guys fooled and swinging. It's really exciting to watch him pitch thus far. Ooh, that was a nice curve. It looked like it was heading out of the strike zone.
Und was haben Sie gesagt?
And it comes back in for a strike. Ooh, and he has to dance over that one. 2-2 is the count. I believe, according to what we were talking about last inning, Angela, if the Caps don't give up any runs here, this would be it.
As far as we know, yes.
Yes,
Because it's a mercy rule.
Right.
15 runs. I mean, they
Check
only
swing.
do that during Corona times.
Indeed. So check swing down to Peel down to first, says he didn't go around. Bond fans not not happy with that call, and sends it into center field, where Justice Recchi picks that ball.
No, this is Danny Lankhorst.
Lankhorst, right, he moved over to fill Joyce's spot. Nice catch by Lankhorst. That'll flip the order over for the Wild Farmers to bring up Enriquez.
The lights are on, but our camera is dark. Oh, yeah.
The lights are on, but nobody's home. I believe my parents said that about me a few times. So Enriquez has walked, singled, flew out to right field. One out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 21-5 is the score. Two-0 the count. And a strike, 2-1.
Nice curve.
Got some movement on that ball. 2-2. Again, exciting player to watch, pitcher to watch. Lint is. And he
Strikes him out.
takes care of Enriquez. 2 down. Del Muro is now at bat. Flew out to center in his last at bat. Walked twice before that. .318 average. Takes a strike. Noah Lint looking sharp today, filling in for Sasha Koch. Sasha gave up few runs, all 5 runs of the Wild Farmers today. Had to sit through a long first inning. And a chopper past a first baseman into right field for Del Muro. That'll bring up Matusavicius
Edvardas Matusavicius.
with 2 out, wearing number 72. Grounded out to the shortstop in his last at-bat, with Del Muro on first. No coverage of Del Muro with 2 out, and let's face it, a substantial lead.
Yeah, you could say that.
Lint, yeah, and Peel down to first base. Said he went around, and I would agree with that. Lint has a couple of these guys fooled. And a swing and a miss. Strikes him out. So let's see. It looks like that'll be the game as the players come out and embrace. Bond Capitals really put together a big offensive display today. A couple of home runs. Angela, your thoughts?
Yeah, offensively, what we have seen over the last weeks from the Capitals, great game again, 3 home runs, so you can't say anything against it. But as we know, it will be a completely different game
That's
tomorrow.
right. So we encourage all the fans, far and wide, to come out for the game tomorrow. That starts at 12 noon. That's 12 noon tomorrow here in Bonn at the ball field. We expect a good game. Anything before we say goodbye, Angela?
No, just like it's worthwhile to come out here as well. I mean, of course, we stream, and wherever you are in Germany, just watch the game. But it's also nice to be here.
All right. Thanks, Angela. And 21-5 is your final score. Thank you very much to everybody for tuning in, and we will be on again tomorrow at noon. Have a good night.